Alright guys, welcome. Today we're going to be making a really cool holographic wall. So I'm using geometry nodes for the first time, so this is going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to be making, if this ever loads, hang on. Let's scale it down a little bit because it's a little bit much. Oh, not that. Alright, we're going to be making this really cool box, and what it does is when you move this sphere, it will react by making all of these little cubes appear, larger or smaller depending on how close the sphere is. So I think this is going to be a really cool effect, and I hope you enjoy it. So let's get on with the tutorial. First step, we're going to open a new instance of Blender. And let's close that one because I currently have like a dozen open. Alright. And say goodbye to the default cube. There we go. So now what we're going to do is we are going to get in a icosphere. Scale it down or up, it doesn't really matter. Just move that off to the side a little bit. So now get a cube here. Scale it to however you want, and we want it to be kind of like a floor or a wall depending on what you're going for. I'm going to go with a floor just because I think it's a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner. So now we're going to take this and we're going to go over to geometry nodes. Press new, and now we just need to get some nodes. So let's get let's see here, a vector distance. And this is the one that a lot of people are talking about right now. It is vector math, is that it? No. It's under attributes, vector math, is that it? Yep, here we go. So vector distance, set this to distance, and then set this one to vector there. So now we just need to get some point instances. So in order for this to work, you need a point instance, and you need to put that at the end of all of this. So let's put this way over there. Then let's put this a point distribute. Point distribute. There we go. And put that there. And we want to make this as dense as we can. So let's do... Why is that not showing? Also, we need to get a mix mesh, so a mesh join. I'm not used to geometry nodes yet, so I'm calling it by their normal node names. There we go, move this up, move that up. There we go. So now we can see our plane there as well, or our cube. So let's set this to that. Gaussian disk, however that's pronounced. And that'll mean that we can do it by distance. So let's see here. We want this to be super dense. Also, we need to apply the scale. I forgot. There we go. Now, if we take this off here, we should just be able to see the geometry the correct way here. Point instance, and we want to instance a torus, segments 6 and 6, because we want a nice futuristic look. Scale that. There we go. That's about right. A little bit smaller. There we go. So now do instances of the torus, and there we go. We have this nice grid texture, and already that's kind of sci-fi looking. Here, let's go and add some color to it. Come on. New color. Emission. And let's make it glow a nice sci-fi blue. Okay. Let's go to render settings and turn on bloom so that we get that nice effect. There we go. Bring down the brightness. Somewhere around like that. Alright, and that looks good, but we want it to appear only when something tries to escape this force field. So that's where we bring in geometry distance and connect it there. Let's put that right about there. Okay. So now we need to get a add empty. So let's get a sphere and just get this empty sphere here. Move it up. And what we're going to do is we're going to parent it to our icosphere here. So that way when this goes down, the empty goes with it. And we're going to use that empty, and we're going to get the object info of the empty here. There we go. And we're going to put this, the location data, onto the vector there. And we're going to say this is our position data, and the result is our position data. There we go. So now, that did something weird, but ignore that for now, and we're going to do a add geometry, so that would be attribute math as well. There we go. And set this one to a float. There we go, just a number there. And do distance. There. And distance here. And set this one to -0.5. I found that was pretty good. Alright. Also, we need to set this to relative. That will cause some problems later if we don't. And also, just to save us the trouble, we're going to add in a attribute fill right now, because that will save us some time later. And set this one to scale. There we go. And 1. Yep. So now we need a attribute color ramp. Attribute color ramp. Here we go. And just invert these. And what this is going to do is it's going to determine the edge bounds for our scaling. I'm actually quite confused as to why that's all the way up there. That shouldn't be all the way up there. Is this wrong? Something wrong here? I am quite confused. That seems right. Scale, position. Oh, that's where I messed up. This goes to distance. Here we go. There we go. Bring that back up. Bring that back down. There we go. That's better. Okay, so now when we move this around, eventually that will work here. So now we just need another attribute math and put it between these two. Set this to multiply, and we're going to multiply the scale. Nope. Scale, and we're going to multiply that by the distance, and then that is going to output our scale. So what that did was it said that the distance of this relative to this cube equals, or the distance of this times the scale equals the end scale. So I think this is still glitching out a little bit because it's way too big here. Control A, apply scale. So let's bring this down. Bring that in. There we go. So let's do... So that's what we want. It's just a little bit inverted. So let's figure out what's wrong here. There's... Oh, right. We have to attribute this to the distance here. There we go. So that sets these as the bounds for the distance. So it's saying the maximum distance that it's going to actually take into account is either 1 or 0, the maximum and the minimum. So that way it doesn't go to like 3 or 4, and we only get 1 to 0. And so now we have this nice effect here. There we go. So now if you want to say have something trying to collide with another object and you want to have a force field, boom, force field. Let's see how that looks in render view. Set our world to black. I said black. There we go. That looks good. That looks really good. There we go. So yeah, that was actually my first time using geometry nodes. So if you have any comments, let me know. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're new. And I apologize for not doing a stream last week. We were traveling. And also, if I don't do any later, like say next week or something, it's because of finals. So that's happening as well. So also, I just realized if you guys want to make this so that it's a little bit smaller or it comes closer before actually activating, all you need to do is this right here. There we go. So set that lower, and then you get the it responds when it's a little bit closer. What that does is it shrinks the size of the apparent size of this sphere here. There we go. And I think I kind of want it a little bit lower. So like that. There we go. There we go. I just realized this actually kind of looks like the Rocket League goal post, like the wall effect. So yeah, if you guys want to make a force field, that's how you do it. Hit the like button, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what you thought. Any and all, what's the word? Why am I blanking? Any and all feedback is good. And thank you for watching. Have a great day.